in Parliament since 2014. A lot has been said about the EFF strategies, its contributions and tactics in the national legislature. As the party commemorates its 12 years of existence today, that's taking place in Khayelitsha, we look at its performance in Parliament.
Don't worry, we're going.
Disruptive. This word has often been used to describe the party's behavior in committees and in the House. And looking at these clips, one can see why there is this perception of the party out there. And of course, who can forget this? When the party first stood out in Parliament in 2014 with 25 seats, it seemed as though its strategy was to challenge the decorum of the proceedings and disrupt debate.
Because we were not necessarily disruptive, but we had to change the status quo. Parliament was boring. People were sleeping here and people were not even interested in watching a parliamentary channel. But today, millions of our people have takes interest in government. And that's what you need as a political party. Because to be honest with you, this democracy didn't just fall from the sky. People died for this democracy. One man, one vote is what has been negotiated, and this is what has brought us so far. It might not be perfect, but it's a tool for us to have influence on the running of the affairs of this country.
Of the EFF. Instead, let's take you live to that celebration, which is taking place in Khayelitsha, as the EFF is marking 12 years. So that's taking place in Khayelitsha in the Western Cape. Supporters, community members, leaders expected to reflect on the party's journey. SABC News politics reporter Samkele Maseko joins us live once again. Samkele, I can see behind you it's certainly starting to fill up, and some of the leadership has already started arriving.
Indeed, Chriselle, the leadership of the economic freedom fighters and the rank and file, the supporters have started arriving here at the Khayelitsha Rugby Stadium to mark the 12 years of the inception and the formation of the economic freedom fighters. I'm going to bring in Treasurer General Ompilo Mwata just to speak about the 12 years of the EFF. You've been in Parliament for all of some of those particular years. What has been the height of the EFF within these 12 years?
Thank you very much, Samkelo. Yes, indeed, we are here at Khayelitsha Rugby Stadium in the Western Cape, Cape Town, to celebrate the 12 years of the existence of the EFF. We saw the EFF going into Parliament in 2014 and brought back the land question back onto the table. A couple of times we failed to move our motion beyond just being a motion, but it passed in 2018, which led to a parliamentary process of going through the length and breadth of this country, asking ordinary citizens of this country what should happen to the land question. And we've seen the overwhelming majority of our people saying that we need to expropriate land without compensation. Of course, we speak to you today, Samkelo, we still don't have the land back because the ANC went back to Parliament, and instead of amending Section 25 of the Constitution, we saw them backtracking from the wishes of the people of South Africa. So it's sad that after so long, we still don't have the land question responded to. Of course, the EFF tabled a couple of bills in Parliament. We know the nationalization of the Reserve Bank that was tabled also back in 2018, which today is sitting with the Portfolio Committee, the Spending Committee of Finance. We've done the public stakeholders' participation. We are now back in the committee on negotiating with political parties to agree with our bill so that the bill can go back into Parliament in the National Assembly and signed into law by the President.
And ultimately, the appropriations bill.
So in totality, we rejected the fiscal framework and revenue proposals, which meant that everything else that emanates from there, the appropriation bill, we're going to have to reject it because, one, the minister is applying an austerity budget, a budget that he knows that it will not resolve the issues of our people. We're sitting with high unemployment rate in the country. We're sitting with high levels of poverty, high levels of inequality. So cutting budget will not help the poor. But even worse, you cut the budget, but at the same time, you are taking more money from the poor by increasing the fuel levy. So that is purely an austerity budget, and they don't want to admit that. So you've seen now in the last week where they passed the appropriation bill. Of course, the confusion we're talking about is people who don't understand the issues. So instead of asking for assistance, because we've been here since 2014, instead of asking for assistance from us, they became arrogant. You can't votes. And then when you go to the schedule, you then agree with the schedule. 2 times, the House chairperson asked the chief whip of the MK, what is your response? She said, I support. Only when after the votes closed, then she saw that the ANC and the DA are clapping in celebration, then it dawned to her that she has done something wrong. It's the same mistake she committed even before. But what is more shocking is that the House chairperson agreed to reopen the vote for her to vote. And for the House chairperson to reopen the vote, actually, it was a member of the MK who went to the table staff to appeal and to plead with the House chairperson to open the process. So he's setting a wrong precedent because you can't close the votes and Jiggy are opening the votes. But Samkela, it's very simple. The first reading means that if the overwhelming majority reject, there's still an opportunity to take the matter back to the committee. That's the first reading. The second reading means now you're voting on this thing, you're putting a stamp on it. Nothing can go beyond that. So if the overwhelming majority of the members of parliament had rejected the schedule, as an example, on the second reading, it would have meant that is the end of the budget. The minister must now come with something new, and the law says you can't table the same bill for a second time.